Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of August 10th through the 16th. During that time, we'll have a waning gibbous moon, and that's a really good time for self-reflection and rebirth, a good time to make positive changes, get rid of, negative thinking and bad habits, and just really buckle down and work towards achieving your goals and aspirations. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Scorpio. So, of course, keep that in mind. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. Your overall message for this reading: hold your vision. Oops, bumped into my camera there. Hold your vision, Scorpio. So, let's see what that might mean to the Scorpio collective this week. As I'm shuffling, I would like to say that my weekly reminder this week is that you notice the world around you for synchronistic goings on. This would be things like repeating number patterns. It could be a song or a conversation that you overhear. My example today would be animals. If you see an animal that you don't see all the time, and this could just be you're driving down a road and an animal jumps out beside you or in front of you. That's not a common thing. Like, it's very uncommon for me to see a peacock, but every once in a while I see a peacock. We have a little place here that has a peacock farm, and every once in a while they get loose. So, unless I'm at a zoo or something that has peacocks, it's pretty rare for me to see one, but I do have that ability because of this farm where they get loose. And so, I look up the attributes of the peacock and try to apply that to a situation in my life. So that's just one way to use the animal synchronistic message. Sometimes just a strange animal gets in front of you and you're like, well, that's weird. And so that's how I use that, just to let you know. Anyway, pay attention to those synchronicities, because that is the universe's way of offering you clues and breadcrumbs on your unique path and just a way to guide you. So once you start seeing those synchronicities, it's very hard to unsee them. All right. Without further ado, let's get right into this reading, Scorpio. August 10th through 16th, hold your vision. Your overall present situation, this has got to be my star of the cards, the star of the readings this week. I've seen this in almost every reading, this card. Seven of Swords. So Seven of Swords is typically taught to us as the card of cunning, craftiness, theft, hidden agenda. So this could be something that's around you in that realm. Is this you? Do you have some sort of something a little shady going on with you, or are you kind of involved in something, or is someone around you having that energy? So we'll see as the reading comes through. The current situation for you is the World card. So you're in a place of perfect balance. So maybe this isn't um, something you're involved with, but maybe kind of a little warning to make sure that, and I get the feeling like, oh, you're just floating along, like everything's great. I hear harps playing and, angels, singing in the background of your life, but there's something kind of lurking behind you. There's maybe some sort of theft or some sort of hidden agenda that you're just kind of oblivious to because you're just in a good space. So, let's see, as these cards continue to come out, what that might mean for you. At the root of your situation is the devil. So yeah, maybe I'm starting to think that there's something that's around you that you're oblivious to, and you just really need to kind of pay attention. Maybe a little. This is kind of a warning for you to pay a little bit more attention. That maybe you're oblivious. We'll see in what area of your life this might be, but yeah, you need to pay attention to something here. In your recent past is the Queen of Cups. So you're in a place of just kind of emotional balance, and not only your own emotional balances, but anytime there's royalty, I like to say that the royalty, especially the kings and queens, are also very aware of those situations in their kingdom. So not only are you, in a place where you understand your own emotions, but you also understand the emotions of the people around you and your kingdom. So you come into this with that kind of an emotional balance, and you're just kind of floating along happy, but it seems like there's something just kind of lurking under the surface that maybe you need to pay attention to. What is on your mind this week is the Six of Pentacles. So I always ask whoever I'm doing a reading for, in this case, that's you, what's happening in this picture here? And I'll give you just a second to think about that and kind of just develop that answer in your own head. What's going on here? And because some people will say, well, obviously this person is giving to these other people. Some people will say, well, this person is receiving help from this person. So, wherever you fell on that scale is kind of where you are right now. So if you're thinking about giving, it's on your mind, you might be thinking about receiving, which is also a thing. So wherever that fell for you, that's kind of on your mind this week. Is this giving, receiving, wherever that is for you, it's just on your mind. For whatever reason. Okay, let's continue on here. What is just ahead of you is the King of Swords. So, the King of Swords is about the knowledge of their element. And this is the knowledge of the intellect. I call this like our Mr. Spock of the deck. This is using logic. This is using very clear speech, very balanced, but it's very all about the intellect. There's no emotion involved with decisions that the King of Swords might make. So that's ahead of you, is to really just use your logic. This is a very interesting reading. Let's continue here and see what we get when all of these cards are on the table. In your advice position, it looks like you've got some sort of something that you're being celebrated for. Um, and the advice would be just to go ahead and take that celebration into account. Give yourself that pat on the back that is needed, and that's in your advice position. What is beyond your control this week is the Five of Swords. So more sword energy coming out. We've now got three different cards here of swords, which is the Seven, the King, and now the Five. And our fives are about kind of disruption and about, maybe this could be an argument that comes through or just a discussion that's had. When it's fives are about, like again, we're taught that it's winning through underhanded tactics, right? Or winning through deceit, maybe. Is it? Because I always wonder, I see these people in the background, their feelings have obviously been hurt, some sort of throat, some sort of swords, which in this case would be words, messages. And this could be something you said in person, something that you said online, something you've said something to hurt someone's feelings, or this could be you back here as well. Someone has said something to hurt your feelings. It's beyond your control this week. Things are coming out that are messages that um, people are going to just have their feelings hurt. And there's nothing you can do. This is really beyond your control. Sorry about our weekly tornado sirens are going off right now because it's noon here. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but I can hear it. All right, let's continue on here. So the next card is, what is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is the Page of Wands. So this is about, some sort of new path on something um, that's passionate, something that lights your fire, something that gets you very excited, and you're either trying to avoid that or it is your secret desire. That's a question that you'll have to ask yourself when it comes to this. And I'm excited to get all of these cards out to kind of do an overview of what this reading might mean, because we're kind of all over the place right now. In your outcome position is the Five of Cups. So we now have two fives on the table. So I would say look up angel number 55 this week and see if that's of any help to you. But something this week is going to make you very sad. And I get the feeling that someone is going to kind of do you dirty, and you're not going to see it coming because you're here. You're in this, you're kind of just oblivious. You're floating along and you're like, things are great, but your overall message was to hold your vision. So if you have some sort of vision here of the way you want to be or whatever, and it's disrupted by some people around you, and I do get the feeling, because there's so many other people appearing in this reading. We've got a couple people here in this Devil card. We've got the couple. There's some people in the Five of Swords here. We've got people behind you and the Six of Wands. And we do have 266. Look up number 66 as well, but also in the Six of Pentacles. I feel like there's other people involved. And so whatever happens where words are exchanged, messages are exchanged, and it makes you feel really sad, that I can see where maybe this could be relationship damaging, if it's a friend, if it's maybe a coworker, that someone does something that's a little bit underhanded, and you're oblivious to it, and it happens. And it's why? Because we are presented with these things for learning. That's how the devil works. That's how God works. That's how you're presented with these things so that you don't fall for it the next time it comes around. So just see this as a learning thing to just watch your back a little better, especially when you're in a happy place and you're, that just leaves you a little bit vulnerable. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. But that's the feeling I get, is that you're just kind of oblivious to it and you get a little blindsided. Again, look up angel number 55 and 66. Those may be relevant to your story this week. Let's see what's hidden from you this week. Is the Knight of Wands. So action in the way of passion. And, it could be that you don't take, I'm almost getting the feeling of being, that this thing happens to you and you're just kind of shrug your shoulders and, yeah, okay, whatever. Because you're lacking this passion to take any sort of action on it. So, and that could be your lesson. It could be that maybe you do let this happen. In any time in life that we have a situation that we've seen before, and it's the reason it gets presented over and over and over is so that you can learn from it. And if you're not learning, you just get presented with it again. So if this lack of passion or lack of action, or that you just kind of allow this, if you allow yourself to get steamrolled over, or some sort of abuse comes your way and you just go, I'm sad about it, but you don't take any action toward it, that might be your lesson. So give that a little bit of thought this week. Pay attention to the world around you, because again, you're just happily oblivious to whatever's going on. And I think you get a little bit blindsided by it. So let's see what the Soul Oracle deck has to say for Scorpio this week. Make a plan. So I would say learn from this. Whatever goes on with you this week, whatever goes on in your world, make a plan so that it doesn't happen again. This could be some sort of just self-protection, signs that you're looking for, things that other people did. And it could be in this realm again. It's on your mind about giving and receiving. And I just get the feeling like that you gave to someone and they just kind of didn't even respect that about you, and went ahead and did this underhanded thing. And you're kind of left going, wow, I treated you very well and you just crapped on me like that. Seriously. But, I'm going to be sad about it. Maybe that's why, if it keeps happening and over, you need to make a plan so that when it happens again, you just decide what you will and won't put up with. All right, let's see what Scorpio needs to do in the way of self-care this week. Self-care for Scorpio, which you definitely need this week. You need to take care of you, because, I just feel bad. Whoever this person is, or people that are kind of screwing you over, it just makes me feel bad for you. But so take care of yourself this week. Learn and make a plan so that it doesn't happen again. All right, your self-care card that comes out, Scorpio, is a card called Space. So it shows a little house here with all these little different items in it. The quality of your life has more to do with what you remove from your life than what you add to it. Give yourself the gift of space. Wow, if that is not relevant to, maybe there might be some people that you need to remove from your life, that you're kind of getting screwed over in some situation where you have been giving and giving and giving, and you're kind of oblivious to it. So live and learn, Scorpio. We've all been there. Just learn your lessons so that you don't end up sad at the end of the week. We want to turn this into Scorpio had a great week and we're happy. So make sure that you are removing those things that don't work for you. Make a plan to do that. So, anyway, Scorpio, I really wish you the best of luck. I want to give you a hug this week, because I just feel like whatever is being done to you or around you, I just feel it. I feel it for you. Anyway, I really appreciate your time here with me today. I do hope there was something you can take away from this reading and apply in your life, and maybe it'll help you. And hopefully you do feel my internet hug coming out to you, because whatever's going on with you, I just literally can feel it. It feels heavy and I don't like it. And if I were closer to you, I would want to go hang out and have a drink and chill out and let you tell me all about your story and what happened. Anyway, if you want to do that in my comments, please feel free to do that. I do read the comments, and I like that kind of feedback and interaction. Let me know what's going on in your life if you're comfortable doing so. Also, if you like my reading style, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps to push my videos out into the algorithm, which I really appreciate. And also, most importantly, Scorpio, it'll help you find me next week so we can see if this situation continues or if there's something completely new here for you next week. So, thanks so much, Scorpio, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.